StealthWriter just told me this AI paragraph was 100% human. Then I ran the exact same text through a free checker called ZeroGPT and it disagreed. In the next 10 minutes, I'll show you how to actually use Ghost 5.2 and how to check whether it worked. This is a hands-on walkthrough, not a sales pitch. We'll go through every control, run real text through Ghost 5.2 Mini and Pro, and verify the output with an independent detector. Numbers, not adjectives. Here's the honest result up front. Ghost 5.2 Pro at level 10 took a paragraph that scored 100% AI down to 17.4%, enough for ZeroGPT to call it human written. Not zero, but a real drop. I'll show you exactly how to get there. StealthWriter is a web-based AI humanizer. You paste text that an AI wrote and it rewrites it to read more like a person. It also ships with its own AI detector and a generator, so you can write, rewrite, and scan in one place. The core tool is the Humanizer. The workflow is simple. You drop your AI text into this box, pick how hard you want it rewritten, choose a model, and hit Humanize. Everything we do today happens on this one screen. Ghost 5.2 comes in two flavors. Mini is faster and lighter. Pro rewrites harder and is tougher to detect. There's also a legacy menu with the older models. On my starter plan, both Ghost 5.2 models were available, so you can test Pro without paying. Ghost 5.2 Mini and Pro went live in May 2026, tuned for stronger readability and coherence. That matters because most reviews you'll find online tested older versions. Today, we're testing the current model. Here's the real dashboard, logged in. On the left, you've got the Humanizer and a separate AI detector. Up top are your controls. The big empty box is where your text goes. Let's break down each control before we run anything. This is your input box. On the free plan, you get up to 5,000 words per request, which is plenty for an essay or a long blog post. One quick tip you'll see pay off later. Keep your text over 100 words, or the results get unreliable. First, control the level. It runs from 1 to 10. Low numbers make light edits and stay close to your original. Level 10 is a heavy rewrite with maximum variation. The higher you go, the more the wording changes, and the lower your detection score usually drops. Next to the level is the model picker. This is where you switch between Ghost 5.2 Mini, Ghost 5.2 Pro, and the legacy models. For the best score, you'll want Pro. We'll prove why in the live test. Down here, you can see your limits. The free plan gives you 50 humanizations and 50 scans per day, and it resets on a timer. That's enough to learn the tool and dial in your settings before you ever pay. Open Advanced Settings, and you get two useful options. The first is Drafts. This controls how many alternative versions it generates for each sentence. More drafts means more variety and a better chance that one version slips past a detector. The second option is Freeze Keywords and Phrases. Anything you add here stays untouched during the rewrite. Use it for brand names, product names, or technical terms you don't want the humanizer to mangle. There's also a standalone AI detector in the sidebar. You can paste any text and scan it without rewriting. It's handy, but keep one thing in mind. A tool's own detector is graded on a friendly curve. We'll come back to that. Now the actual workflow. Step 1 happens before you ever touch StealthWriter. Generate your draft in your AI of choice, then clean it up. Strip out Markdown, stray symbols, and formatting. Plain text humanizes far better. Step 2. Paste your cleaned text into the box. For this demo, I'm using a textbook AI paragraph about remote work, the kind of stiff, over-polished writing that detectors flag instantly. 225 words, well over that 100-word floor. Step 3. Dial in your settings. This is the part most people get wrong. They leave it on the default model and a middle level, then wonder why their score barely moves. Or the strongest result. Set the model to Ghost 5.2 Pro and push the level to 10. Yes, level 10 is aggressive, and we'll watch for meaning drift. But this is the combination that pulls your detection score down the most. Step 4. Hit Humanize. Ghost 5.2 is fast. The rewrite comes back in a few seconds. Watch the result panel fill in with your new rewritten text. Step 5. Actually read the output. StealthWriter color codes it. Green sentences read as more human, red ones still look like AI. You can click any sentence to swap in a different draft. The rewrite is fluent, and the meaning held up well. Step 6. Check the built-in detector. It scans automatically, and here it gives us 100% human. Looks human. Job done, right? Not so fast. This is exactly where most tutorials stop, and exactly where they mislead you. A humanizer's own detector is grading its own homework. Of course, it says you passed. The only test that counts is an independent one. So step 7, copy your output and check it somewhere else. My pick is ZeroGPT because it's free and you don't need an account. This is the part you came for. Same text, same settings, judged by a checker that has no reason to flatter StealthWriter. Let's see what Ghost 5.2 really does. First, a baseline. I dropped the original AI paragraph into ZeroGPT untouched. The verdict, your text is AI GPT generated 100%. That's our starting line. Now we humanize and recheck. Round 1, Ghost 5.2 Mini at level 8. ZeroGPT drops from 100 to 34.7% and calls it most likely human written. A big improvement from just the lighter model, but we can do better. Round 2, Ghost 5.2 Pro at level 10. ZeroGPT now reads 17.4%, and the verdict upgrades to your text is human written, the top tier. That's the payoff. Pro plus level 10 is the combination that moved the needle most. Now, hold the two numbers side by side. StealthWriter's own detector said 100% human. ZeroGPT on the same text said 17.4% AI. Both can be true at once. That gap is the single most important lesson in this video. Always verify outside the tool. One more honest finding. I tried rehumanizing the Pro output a second time thinking it would push lower. It went the wrong way, back up to 31.8%. So don't overhumanize. One clean pass with the right settings beats stacking passes. Could I get it to a perfect 0? Not on this text. 17% with a human-written verdict was the honest ceiling. Anyone promising a guaranteed 0 is selling you something. What Ghost 5.2 does is take obvious AI text and make it read as human. That's the real job. So here's your settings checklist. Use Pro, not Mini. Push the level to 10. Keep your text over 100 words. Strip formatting before you paste. And resist the urge to run it twice. Get those right, and you'll match what we got today. If a few sentences still read as AI, raise your draft count in advanced settings. Then click those red sentences and swap in a cleaner alternative. You're editing toward human, one sentence at a time, instead of nicking the whole thing again. Let's be fair about what's good. The rewrites are fast and readable. The score drops are real and measurable, not imaginary. The controls are simple, and the free tier is generous enough to actually learn the tool before paying. And the catches. The built-in detector is too optimistic, so never trust it alone. It's weaker against the strict checkers like Turnitin and originality. Aggressive levels can subtly shift your meaning, so reread every rewrite. And the free tier caps you at 50 a day. Don't just take my one test for it. I pulled what real users say on Reddit, and the picture is honest, mixed, and worth hearing before you commit. In a roundup of every major humanizer, StealthWriter landed a bronze, praised for improving readability and making AI content less obviously robotic. That lines up with what we saw. It makes text read better. Another tester called it good for formal style text, so if you're polishing essays or professional writing, it's in its comfort zone. Casual conversational content is harder for any humanizer. On the critical side, one detailed test found mixed results against GPT-0 and warned the output can read a little flat. That's the honest counterweight. It is not a guaranteed pass against every detector. Here's the catch with all that Reddit feedback. Most of it was written before Ghost 5.2 launched. That's the whole reason I ran a fresh test on the current Pro model instead of repeating old verdicts. Always check which version a review used. On pricing, you start free with those daily caps. Paid plans lift the limits and add features like more drafts and API access. One heads up, the site shows more than one pricing layout right now, so check which one you're actually on before you buy. For most people learning the tool, the free plan is enough. 50 humanizations, 50 scans, and 5,000 words per request every day. That's exactly what I use to run every test in this video. $0 spent. So who is this for? If you want to take AI drafts and make them read like a person, and you're willing to verify with a second checker, StealthWriter Fix. It's strongest on formal long-form writing. Skip it, or at least don't rely on it alone. If you need a guaranteed pass against strict academic checkers like Turnitin, if you won't reread for meaning drift, or if you're expecting a flawless 0 every time, no humanizer delivers that, honestly. A verdict. Ghost 5.2 genuinely works. The right recipe is Pro, level 10, clean text over 100 words, one pass. That took an obvious AI paragraph from 100% down to a human-written verdict on an independent checker. If you remember one thing, make it this. Humanize in StealthWriter, but always verify in a tool that isn't StealthWriter. The built-in score will tell you what you want to hear. An independent checker tells you the truth. That's the full workflow for Ghost 5.2. The free tier gives you everything you need to run this exact test yourself, Pro model included. Visit link in the description to try StealthWriter.